Is AI coming for your job in the near future? I bet you'll be surprised by the truth. And is escalating violence leading us into a tech-controlled future? Let's talk about it on Kari.HQ today.
You're not imagining it. AI is already taking tech jobs. CEO of the freelance marketplace Fiverr fired off a memo to his 1,200 employees that didn't mince words, writing, quote, "AI is coming for your jobs. Heck, it's coming for my job too. This is a wake-up call."
All right, guys, now make sure you smash that like button and subscribe, if nothing else, for this beautiful view behind me, Medellin Colombia. And today, I just want to talk about AI a little bit, as well as various other topics. But let's get started with AI. And really where I want to start is where it's going to affect us the most, guys. It's going to cause a lot of job loss. We already know this.
Tech companies have also started cutting jobs or freezing hiring explicitly due to AI and automation. At stalwart IBM, hundreds of human resources employees were replaced by AI in May, part of broader job cuts that terminated 8,000 employees.
Companies are already laying off a lot of people. Estimates are about 14 million jobs, are saying right now, that have been lost to AI in 2025. So that just lets you know that this is a trend that is not going anywhere. So me being someone that pays attention to the tech industry pretty closely, I can tell you that pretty much every major tech company right now is scrambling to figure out AI and get ahead of it. But that's not it. Of course, AI is gonna merge with robotics, right? And that's what we're kind of seeing now. And we're on the spear, the tip point, the point of this, right? This is happening before our eyes. We're gonna see AI and robotics come together. And when that happens, we're gonna see a lot of jobs get replaced. Absolutely. We're talking warehouse jobs. We're talking Hollywood. We're talking music. Let's just talk about those three first. So when it comes to your typical warehouse job or physical labor, even construction, I've seen, different machine robotics that have been replacing people on construction sites already, So this is crazy. You're gonna see places like Amazon, they're not gonna have a need for so many people in their warehouses anymore because they can have robots carry boxes. They don't have to pay the robots, they just have to do maintenance and updates, They don't have to worry about the robot getting sick. They don't have to worry about it, having a bad attitude or committing sexual assault or anything like that. They have full control over it. And it can work 24/7. That's something that a human can't do, at least not legally.
Amazon CEO 𝐦𝐨𝐬𝐤𝐵 said last month that AI will, quote, "reduce our total corporate workforce over the next few years as the company begins to, quote, need fewer people doing some of the jobs that are being done today and more people doing other types of jobs."
So pretty much we are obsolete when it comes to physical labor. It's just about how fast can they figure out how to implement, a robot, or deploy a robot, I should say, to do someone's job. Every job has a different level of difficulty that the human body and coordination, is all required for. So some jobs are going to be really difficult to replace. In some industries, like the airplane industry, for example, is going to be a very interesting one. We've just had a few pilot suicides over the last couple of decades.
They call them aircraft-assisted pilot suicides, saying they're rare. They include the November 2013 crash of Mozambique Airlines, which was eerily similar to the Germanwings plane one. That was Germanwings Flight 9525. That one was so eerie, where that pilot died taking 149 other people with him. He was depressed and flew the plane right into the side of a mountain. That was absolutely awful. He was 27 years old. We know he was determined to kill himself. Let's see, there's a bunch. Egypt Airlines, you guys mentioned Flight 990 off Nantucket in 1999, killing all 217 people on board, caused by deliberate action, according to the NTSB. In that case, a relief pilot, 𝐥𝐤𝐤𝐤 al-Batouti, waited for the captain to leave the cockpit, then disengaged the autopilot. As the plane descended, he could be heard saying in Arabic, "I rely on God," over and over. And there are more. I mean, you could keep going.
And so, you know, if we take the whole pilot out of the situation, you know, honestly, flight could be safer. We don't know. But I guarantee now, after Air India, which just happened within the last 2 months, a crash where it's not been said officially, but it's suspected that there was a pilot suicide on that flight. Yeah, people are going to feel a lot more comfortable with a computer flying, you know, and they don't have to worry about a pilot, you know, going through different things in life and, you know, wanting to do something like that. So we're also going to see the driverless cars, you know, the autonomous cars, the autonomous 18-wheelers, and, you know, many jobs like that could be going away. Farming jobs could even be going away. You know, at this point, anything that requires movement, eventually with robotics and AI, it can go away. So even music, guys. I have a friend, he creates amazing music with some of these AI apps. You know, it's very possible that the need for us to wait for so-and-so to drop an album when someone can just go, you know, create something very similar and go rock out to it in their car and drive around. What do we need to wait on some of these stupid artists for, you know? And to be quite honest, a lot of artists aren't really bringing a lot of value to the world. Some are, but not a lot of them are. So, you know, it is what it is. It's coming. The AI craze is upon us. They estimate that 41% of employers are planning to reduce their headcount off the back of AI by 2030, guys. So we got to start thinking about what are we going to do to gain income if, you know, you're used to having a job and you never work for yourself. Even services that people provide, that people have created their own business for, may be going away. You know, if they can have a lawnmower cut the whole lawn for you and it's much better than the robots that we had in the past, then what's the need for a lawn service? So you see where I'm going with this. It could get really crazy. But let's get to my second major point, and that's those YNs out there in the United States that's running the streets right now, man. Y'all gotta chill out. Y'all wasn't doing all this when I was back there, man.
Armed masked men seen breaking glass cases and taking everything they can get their hands on.
The YNs today, they done get out of control, bro. So what I was saying in the beginning of the video is that I really feel like the more violent and crazy that the citizens get of all these countries, it's not just America, but really in America, I see it all the time. You know, people are running in stores, running out with, you know, merchandise. They are robbing people, doing all types of crime. Crime is, you know, on the rise in America. It seems like it's always on the rise in America. And I think eventually it becomes an excuse or a reason for governments and things like that to police us more and start using technology and AI. Eventually, if they can't stop people from running in a mall and having shootouts, you know, in America, you can step on somebody's shoes and it could turn into a massacre, right? So if these things keep happening, we already see cameras everywhere, right? We have tracking on like cars where they can track your license plate, right? And all these types of things. Eventually, there's gonna be nothing that is not tracked, guys. So, you know, if you're committing crime today, I don't know what you're thinking or where your head is at, but you know, I am just completely dumbfounded by the boldness of some of these criminals today. The images and videos that I'm seeing come out of the United States and other places is just insane, you know? People are often getting shot in broad daylight and things like this. It's just crazy, and it's all on video. So people eventually get caught. I'm someone that still occasionally likes to watch investigative series on like YouTube and stuff like that. So it always just blows my mind. Like, people know that all what they're doing is tracked, but they still do it. And so I think that with escalating violence, we might see robots that handle riots. You know, we might see, you know, all types of things. When robotics and AI converge together, I'm telling you guys, it's gonna be an incredible revolution. I even think Hollywood is gonna be a different place. You know, they're getting so advanced when it comes to being able to create a scene with AI just off a prompt. If you haven't tried it, it's one of the craziest things. You know, I've been messing around with AI myself, and I suggest that you do the same, because honestly, who knows where it's gonna lead us into the future. But aside from that, I really think we have to think about what it's gonna do to our economy. If there's all this job loss, and there's all these people that no longer can create income for themselves, what are they gonna do? You say, well, they have to learn a different trade or learn something else. You know, the main jobs that I don't see going away are gonna be the technology jobs, because all these AI systems have to be set up by somebody. They're not to the point where, you know, you can just do a prompt and set a whole enterprise level system up for like a company. You have to, you know, delicately implement a lot of these systems and data centers and databases and things like this, programs and services all together, right? When we're talking enterprise. So I think a good place where we will see growth is enterprise engineering roles, things like that. Anything that has to do with AI, you know, is a great time to get started. You know, if you're a young person and you're wondering what's, you know, my go-to plan A, right? AI is a great choice right now. I do see a future. I don't think it's going to be something that comes and goes. You know, companies are seeing the benefits to it, right? They're seeing how it's going to affect their bottom line. And to a company, there's no better reason for them to commit to something if they know they're going to save money. This is something that I noticed because I've just been in the business world. I went to university for marketing, and so I pay very close attention to the economy as well. I noticed this, you know, if you give a company incentive to save money, it's always been about the bottom line. So AI is the perfect solution for that. I want people to start thinking about ways that they can use AI to help their productivity, help their business, improve their lives. I think AI should not always only be about making money. I think we should also look for ways for AI to help us live happier, healthier, longer, more fulfilling lives, right? Because what's the good of technology if it just comes in and lays everyone off? Like, what's the point of that? It's kind of a scary thought of kind of the worst case scenario with AI. But hopefully we are able to get ahead of it and get our hands on it and become a part of everything that is coming along with AI. And so I really encourage all you guys to get started and get educated on that. And I just wanted to bring it to my subscriber base because I know a lot of people haven't, you know, really started to even think about AI, even though they've heard it a million times. You know, I'm someone that works on AI and uses the AI pretty much daily at this point. It just is what it is. I work in tech industry, so it's like the main buzzword right now. It's like the number one thing that everyone wants to talk about in the tech world. By the way, I love working in tech, and I recommend that anybody looking for a job, look at the tech industry, man. There's a lot of jobs and new professions that are coming open in the tech industry. If you need to talk about that and, you know, want advice, career advice, resume advice, definitely hit me up. We can do a consultation. Just send me a DM on Instagram. All right. Now I'm gonna pause for a second before I get into some more topics and just talk about my glasses for today. These are the 𝐥𝐤𝐤𝐤, the Cody, London. These came out years ago. I doubt if you can find these new anymore, but they're part of the Last Frontier collection. I think they look amazing, oversized. Look, there's only 100 of these. Only 100 of these. I will likely do a video on some of my glasses if you guys let me know that you're interested in sunglasses and stuff like that. All right. So next up, I want to talk a little bit about an unfortunate situation for my boy Shannon Sharpe. So just yesterday we got word that Shannon Sharpe has been let go by ESPN, man, and it's sad, man. I really like Shannon Sharpe on ESPN. I enjoyed his show. I think he was a great fit with Stephen A. Smith. They just had that chemistry, man, just like boys in the barbershop, right? And so, you know, we saw the scandal happen with Shannon Sharpe. It was a completely unfortunate situation, man. Horrible, horrible, horrible. It just shows you, man, the bunnies, the females can always get you in trouble.
Financially, he's gonna be fine because he's in the podcast world. The reason I got to stand with Shannon Sharpe, even though he's a bunny hopper, is because I have to look at the greater issue here. In the greater issue here, we can't make it easy for white women to fabricate charges against black men, because the day it'll be Shannon Sharpe, tomorrow it'll be you.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So I gotta take it seriously because I know how this goes.
Gotta be very careful with those females. There's some beautiful creatures, but man, look at what happened to this guy. You're talking about a complete change in what he was about to receive, man. He was looking at a $100 million contract, and that's gone now. That's completely gone, $100 million. And just the dignity and respect. Like, people are always gonna look at that man and just think about, like, you know, what happened? Like, he lost out on so much money over, like, some ditzy chick at the gym, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy. And she wasn't even bad. Like, for me, like, she wasn't my type. I know dudes that would love that type, so I'm not saying she's not beautiful, but for me, that's like not top tier for me. That was just, but some dudes really get off on like that white girl, you know, athletic build, like college girl look. That's what she looked like to me. So nah, not for me, man. I'm not trying to lose no type of money over that type of chick. So it's a shame, and she really burned him because she like threw it in his face, like talking about she retired from OnlyFans, and I'm just like, damn, could it get any worse for my man? It's sad, but I want to try to bring some happiness and joy to the situation and say, man, Shannon, we stand with you. Just, you know, figure it out, dog. I don't know, that was a bad move, you know. But I do want to say I admire what you did with your platform, Shannon. Like, you built your platform up to a crazy level, man, all by yourself with grit and determination. And hopefully people will forget about this situation and give you another chance with some time. I know it's not even like you did anything wrong, and at least in my eyes, I'm gonna just say that. Like, if it was just me watching, I would have no problem watching Shannon Sharpe all day, or not all day, I wouldn't watch him all day, but watching him on TV every day, given what he did, I don't care. Like, it doesn't, like, you're kidding me, right? Like, nothing he did was worth $1 million, you know what I mean, dollars. So I just feel like that is one of the biggest L's that I've seen in media in a long time. So again, Shannon, you did your thing with Club 𝐥𝐤𝐤. You took the world by storm, man. Keep doing your thing. You will figure something else out, my brother. 𝐥𝐤𝐤 sitting at like 4 million right now. God damn. All right. On my last topic for today, I just want to touch on what's going on in Israel and Gaza.
There's nothing you can say other than it's terrible when you see the kids.
On Monday, the president said the U.S. will set up food centers in Gaza to help those facing starvation and malnutrition, and he disagreed with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, who said over the weekend there is no starvation in Gaza. The latest on the crisis now from CNN's Jeremy Diamond.
Desperate and hungry, thousands of Palestinians scramble onto aid trucks that have just entered the Gaza Strip. As children scrape bits of flour from the beds of those trucks, the world's leading global authority on food security says the worst-case scenario of famine is now unfolding.
And I gotta start by saying, I do not know the answers to that situation at all. I just pray for peace, and I hope that they can figure that thing out with less violence, because I am so tired of the violence in that region, and it's so sad with all the history there. And you know, I just wish there was a way for this to get figured out, because in my eyes, I know that you have so many different religious groups living in Israel, right? You have Muslim people. People think of Israel and they only think of Jewish people, but there are Muslim people there, there are Christian people there, there are a bunch of different people there. And to me, they're just people. The only thing dividing them, right, is their religions. And it's just crazy that it ends up being, you know, such a bloody fight over there all the time. They're saying since October 2023 that over 60,000 Palestinians have been killed. That's super sad. I don't agree with Netanyahu.
Benjamin Netanyahu has made an enormous show of showing how much contempt he has for these political gestures and political statements by first France and then the United Kingdom. He has said that all this is a reward for the terrorism of Hamas. And when he speaks, people in Israel listen. One of the tragedies of this terrible chapter is that the image of Israel has been so diminished that it's changed politics in places like the UK, the United States, and France. And, you know, I can't emphasize enough, Donald Trump could end this now and force Netanyahu's hand. He can't just afford to say this is affecting him emotionally.
I'm very careful to say, oh, I don't agree with Israel, because, you know, I have a lot of Jewish friends, and I realize that most Jewish people are awesome. Like, they're cool for the most part. I grew up around a lot of Jewish people. I just hate that, you know, there's some bad apples, I guess, within Israel, and in my eyes, there is some type of, I don't know, Illuminati, whatever you want to call it, that basically is affiliated with and has a lot of Jewish members, right? Because at the end of the day, a lot of high-ranking Jewish people have a lot of control in this world. So that's where that's coming from. Another one of my favorite people recently, Candace Owens, I just want to give her a shout out because I love her show and the fact that she talks about some of these topics and brings awareness to it. I understand there's a lot of people that don't agree with her and things like that, but I don't agree with everything she says either. But the fact that people are now talking about these discussions, also big shout out to Tucker Carlson, again, another person that has done a lot of things I disagree with, but you know, I enjoy his show because it's a different perspective, right? And I think that we should at least listen, you know, and have those discussions. So whatever's going on in the Middle East, man, you guys that are clearly profiting off of this type of conflict and just walking away and letting these people suffer, man, enough is enough. You guys are rich already, man, just like cut it out. That's all I wanted to say on that. Like, I don't have all the answers. I just pray for peace, and I pray for people to get on with their lives. And you know, you would think that some of these super rich people would just have enough money and be like, yo, I'm gonna go chill on the island and not, you know, torment the world. But it is what it is. So before we get out of here, guys, I just want to ask you guys to please subscribe to the channel. Follow me on Instagram at @Kari.HQ. If you do want to talk Colombia, if you want to talk about career advice, anything like that, anything I can help with that you see me talk about on my channel, we can talk about it in a consultation. Just hit me up on Instagram in the DMs, man. You know where I'm at, right here in beautiful Medellin, Colombia. Make sure y'all drop a comment. Let me know any videos that y'all want me to do in the future, all right? All right, it's your boy Kari. I'm out. Peace.